Everyone. My name's Chris Devine. I'm a electrical engineer at Red Bus Bar, and this presentation will give you a brief introduction regarding SmokeSight residential smoke alarms. We'll also be looking at Red Bus Bar's background, together with how we got started in the smoke alarm industry. We'll also be discussing some of the problems with smoke alarms that are available today, and also the features that are incorporated into SmokeSight to address some of those problems. Red Bus Bar was founded in 2003, and our uh, main business is to provide safety systems associated with industrial and residential sectors. The company holds several patents for the products that it supplies. We're located in Brisbane, and our scope in terms of what we do is limited to the design, development, the marketing, and the support of our products. So the production of the products uh, is largely produced by local contractors and also some that are overseas as well. So let's talk briefly about how we got involved in the smoke alarm industry. Well, it was triggered with the new smoke alarm laws in Queensland, and it became pretty clear that given that there was a need for smoke alarms to be installed in new locations, for example, bedrooms, where there was no wiring, it became pretty clear that if you were going to signal an alarm event across all of the smoke alarms in the dwelling, that you needed to have some sort of hybrid network where wiring wasn't able to reach, and in some cases where there was existing wiring. So when we did a search back in 2017 for products that could service this need, we largely came up empty-handed. So it gave us the opportunity, or it pushed us into a position where if we were going to supply smoke alarms, then we needed to develop a solution for this. It also gave us the opportunity, recognizing that if we were developing from first principles a smoke alarm, we had the opportunity to address some real problems that people, consumers found with the operation of their smoke alarms. So what problems are we talking about? Well, headline on the list is nuisance alarms. People have an expectation, a reasonable expectation, that the smoke alarm sit on the ceiling and not sound until there is a genuine fire. Another problem that we've identified is that of regular testing. A working smoke alarm looks identical to a faulty smoke alarm, and it's only through regular testing that you can establish that the smoke alarms are still functional. They're inherently non-fail safe, so that testing element's important. In the event that there is a false alarm, then the prospect of silencing the alarm and remembering that there's many more smoke alarms now in a dwelling is a real problem that people attempt to attack with waving tea towels, waving cushions, and in some cases using cricket bats to wipe smoke alarms off the ceiling. Of course, another issue involving smoke alarm maintenance is that of battery changes. Uh, the fact that people need to constantly interact with their smoke alarms through frequent battery chirping again adds to the level of frustration, and if that can be reduced, that would be wonderful. And finally, that of the escape path uh, that one needed to take in the middle of the night when the smoke alarms are going off. That can be confusing enough for people who are familiar with the dwelling, but for visitors, um, that becomes even more difficult. So to a photoelectric smoke alarm, humidity changes and dust buildup can look very much like smoke. Of course, those events aren't relating to a fire and they trigger false alarms. Because they're quite slow in their nature, eh, we can employ a special algorithm called long-term drift compensation to constantly monitor the baseline levels of sense material in the smoke alarm and differentiate between these events, these materials causing false alarms and true smoke. So in that respect, long-term drift compensation results in a calmer alarm for the occupant inside the dwelling. Need to test smoke alarms on a regular basis is not often performed in practice. So auto test is a feature whereby the smoke alarm performs a 5-second sound test at a time that can be set by the installer that's convenient for the uh, occupier of the dwelling. For instance, in my house, our 7 smoke alarms do their automatic sound test at midday on a Saturday. The first time it happens, it's quite um, confronting when they do sound. But now our family has come to expect the event and gain some reassurance from the fact that the smoke alarms are still working. Regular battery changes of the smoke alarm, for a start, arise from regular chirping of low battery conditions, which are frustrating for a customer. In addition to that, the need to remove the smoke alarm or climb a ladder, remove the smoke alarm, change the batteries and reinstall it results in um, smoke alarm damage from time to time when people are unfamiliar with removal methods. So there is real benefit in having a uh, battery battery backup that will last a lot longer than the 1 year that's often recommended by the smoke alarm authorities. So SmokeSight incorporates backup batteries that only require changing once every 5 years, and that means that in reality, that's one battery change throughout the life of a 10-year smoke alarm. In the event that you still get a false alarm, for instance, a rush of steam through the smoke alarm, you're able to, once you identify the source or the smoke alarm that's sounding by its red light, simply double clapping your hands underneath the smoke alarm that's triggered is enough to silence the smoke alarm. It's effectively the same as pressing the hush button. So in that respect, it's less likely to cause frustration through waving tea towels and cushions, or damage to the smoke alarm if it can't be silenced. In the event that there is a smoke alarm sounding in the middle of the night, during the sounding, all smoke alarms will flash their white LEDs. This will provide both an audible and visual indication of the smoke alarm event, as well as provide basic illumination, allowing people to escape from the dwelling, which can be handy when people are unfamiliar with escape paths. The flashing white light also on the SmokeSight smoke alarm makes it suitable for use in guest houses, hostels, in accordance with the building code. Finally, SmokeSight is the only Australian-made smoke alarm, and some customers purchase a SmokeSight on the strength of that feature alone. So in closing, SmokeSight is all about three attributes: quality, and in terms of quality, we mean minimizing false alarms and also making SmokeSight as simple as possible to install and to uh, configure and maintain. The practical innovations are aimed at increasing safety through the likes of auto test and also improving convenience through clap silence. And note that things like wall-mounted controllers aren't needed through those innovations. And finally, the fact that they're Australian made for many people means that they uh, have been designed for Australian conditions, which is a reasonable view to take, and that they're insect tolerant. Thanks for your interest in SmokeSight smoke alarms. There's plenty of new features and opportunities in the future, so don't forget to like us on Facebook and also join our newsletter list, both of which are accessible from the website smokesight.com or redbusbar.com. Bye.